Hey guys, it's the Million Mile Mensch, Greg here. I thought today I'd talk a little bit about my journey and how I came to be now to the point of retiring at 55 years old. I started out wanting to be an airline pilot. I went to college, I got all my ratings, I became a flight instructor, taught for 3 years, did charters. At the end of my college and graduation, I did get employed by a major airline in their regional division, and it was 1992. It was also during a good recession that just started. And you're not going to believe this, but the starting salary for a first officer on a regional jet was $13,500. I'm not making that up. You can look online. The guy pumping the gas was making double what I was making. I did that because it was a dream. It was something that I thought I wanted to do since I was a little boy. And without the guidance, no dad guidance, which I think is really important, um, I followed this dream. Did it for 6 months and then got furloughed. And the airline industry, furloughed means laid off. It's a nice way of saying it. And if any of you out there want to be airline pilots, you will be furloughed some point in your career, probably more than once. And flew corporate then for the next year and got $100 per flight. And you could be flying 18 hours a day, and it was still $100. But that was back then, there was 10,000 guys for every one job. And I was 21 years old, and it was a dream, but accrued debt and different things during that time. After working that for a while, I did realize this is not the type of lifestyle I signed up for me. I wanted something bigger. I wanted children. I wanted to grow and be able to retire earlier and travel and do things. So I was in Florida at that time. I came back to Chicago and I met through my mom a man who was a manufacturer's rep. Couldn't tell you what that is. Met with him for lunch, and he offered me $30,000 a year and a car. I said, I don't know what you do, but 100% I'll be back in a week to start. Now, fast forward 33 years later, and going through all the different parts of being a salesperson and being a manufacturer's rep. And by the way, a manufacturer's rep is somebody who represents a smaller company that manufactures products, whether it's in the US or overseas, and then sells it to the major retailers. And you can be in territories. At the time, I was in Chicago. And then you start branching off, and your career is going from that to being a regional sales manager, to having a certain amount of states, to a national sales manager, which then you have regional people under you, to vice president of sales, to hopefully president or having your own business at some point. And I will make a video on that as well, as I learned over the years how to make more money doing that. Sales ended up being a great career for me because you get commission. And when you make commission, you have an unlimited potential of making income, and you're not bound by anything else. So these lessons that I learned, and I think it's good to this day still, is who you know and hard work will be what ends up your career. It's all about who you know. If you're going to go on LinkedIn, you're going to go online and just send in resumes, you will not get anywhere. And this is to the young people out there. You need to be able to network and get your resume to somebody who knows somebody who can get you up on the top. And that's how you start your career 100%. And as I went through my 20s, I learned something very valuable. It's called compound interest. And I would say in my 20s, I made that, I told you earlier, moron tax mistake, where I wanted to go out and do things with my friends and have a nicer apartment and get a nicer car. And I probably learned by my mid-20s that actually will keep you from getting wealthy. It's basically ties you down. Debt is a tie down. You can't get anywhere with debt. So this learning about compound interest, which I can't say anything more than just that, learning to save, learning to invest, buying companies that have good dividends is what I did when I started to really figure it out, reinvesting those dividends and never touching it. And these are good companies that you buy every day, products you buy every day, and they pay every quarter some type of dividend back to their stockholders as part of their profit. And I can get into that in later videos too, and what I like and what I don't like. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you what my story was and how I came to be, my success. So as the years went on, this compound interest, earning more money, getting through the career that I was going through. And if anybody has any questions on how to do what I did in my career, I would love to answer them. I'm not sure what people want to hear and not want to hear, but I've had a lot of experience in the business world over the past 34 years. And now at age 55, I'm to the point where I can retire. I can make decisions. I have the financial freedom to do what I want to do. And I'm learning what retirement is. This is brand new. And I don't think you can quite be ready for retirement necessarily when you're going full power for 30 some odd years. And I think this is to the older groups out there and people who are in my situation is how do you plan for retirement and what are you going to do? And I'm in this new chapter of my life. I'm trying this YouTube channel. I was encouraged to do it and see how that goes. And it's obviously you can see through my videos, it's progress in work. And it's a time where you reflect and go, what do I want to be doing? First, it feels like you're playing hooky. You're on vacation. We're traveling a lot. My wife and I are doing 2 trips this year, each one 2 weeks in Europe. And we're doing cruises, which I would love to get into because I've learned a lot about cruising and how cruising works and the benefits and some of the things that we've learned that value-wise as well, what you get out of that. Then we actually vacation and live, shouldn't say vacation, we're snowbirds. We don't want to be in the Chicago cold anymore, so we go to Florida and we spend time there and how we did, how that came to be. So you need to have some type of plan for this retirement period, and I'm learning it myself as I go. Anybody has some great ideas on what they did during retirement, I'd love to hear them in the comments because I'm just starting to figure out what that is and what I want to do. And as I grow up, what do I want to be when I grow up, right? So I hope you enjoyed some of this video. I know I'm rambling on a little bit, but my head it wants to get out there and tell you all these different things, and I'll get more into details as I understand what people want to hear and not want to hear. If you also can subscribe to it and hit the like button or pass this on as well, because I'm learning how this YouTube works, and I do want it to be successful. So thanks again for listening, and look forward to hearing any comments.